Good morning, Andrews Elementary, and happy Tuesday the 12th. I hope you're having a great morning. I can't wait to read chapter 4 of James and the Giant Peach. If you remember our third chapter, James was approached by a strange old man that had a bag full of beans, right? Now, generally, I don't recommend anybody talk to strange old men that pop out of the woods. However, in this book, it's okay because it's not real, right? It's fiction. So, let's start chapter 4. James Henry Trotter stood there clutching the bag and staring at the old man. "And now," the old man said, "all you've got to do is this. Take a large jar of water and pour all the little green things into it. Then, very slowly, one by one, add 10 hairs from your own head. That sets them off. It gets them going. In a couple of minutes, the water will begin to froth and bubble furiously, and as soon as that happens, you must quickly drink it all down, the whole jugful in one gulp. And then, my dear, you will feel it churning and boiling in your stomach, and steam will start coming out of your mouth, and immediately after that, marvelous things will start happening to you. Fabulous, unbelievable things. And you will never be miserable again in your whole life. Because you are miserable, aren't you? You needn't tell me. I know all about it. Now, off you go and do exactly as I say. And don't whisper a word of this to those two horrible aunts of yours. Not a word. And don't let those green things in there get away from you either. Because if they do escape, then they will be working their magic upon somebody else instead of upon you. And that isn't what you want at all, is it, my dear? Whoever they meet first, be it bug, insect, animal, or tree, that will be the one who gets the full power of their magic. So hold the bag tight. Don't tear off the paper. Off you go. Hurry up. Don't wait now. There's time. Hurry up." With that, the old man turned away and disappeared into the bushes. Now, that was a really short chapter, so I'm going to read the next one too, chapter 5. The next moment, James was running back towards the house as fast as he could. He would do it all in the kitchen, he told himself. If only he could get in there without Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker seeing him. He was terribly excited. He flew through the long grass and the stinging nettles, not caring whether he got stung or not, on his bare knees. And in the distance, he could see Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker sitting in their chairs with their back towards him. He swerved away from them so as to go around the other side of the house. But then suddenly, just as he was passing underneath the old peach tree that stood in the middle of the garden, his foot slipped and he fell flat on his face in the grass. The paper bag burst open as it hit the ground, and thousands of tiny green things were scattered in all directions. James immediately picked himself up on his hands and knees and started searching for the precious creatures. But what was this? They were all sinking into the soil. He could actually see them wriggling and twisting as they burrowed their downward into the hard earth. And at once, he reached out a hand to pick up some of them before it was too late, but they disappeared right under his fingers. He went after some of the others, and the same thing happened. He began scrambling around frantically in an effort to catch hold of those that were left, but they were too quick for him. Each time the tips of his fingers were just about to touch them, they vanished into the earth, and soon, as the space of only a few seconds, every single one of them had gone. James felt like crying. He would never get them back now. They were lost forever. But where had they gone to? And why in the world had they been so eager to push down into the earth like that? What were they after? There was nothing down there. Nothing except the roots of an old peach tree. A whole lot of earthworms and centipedes and insects living in the soil. But what was it that old man had said? Whoever they meet first, be it bug, insect, animal, or tree, that will be the one that gets the full power of their magic. Good heavens, James thought. What is going to happen in case they do meet an earthworm or a centipede or a spider? And if they do go into the roots of the peach tree? "Get him at once, you lazy beast!" A voice was suddenly shouting in James' ear. James glanced up and saw Aunt Spiker standing over him, grim and tall and bony, staring at him through her steel-rimmed spectacles. "Get back over there immediately and finish chopping up those logs," she ordered. Aunt Sponge, fat and plumpy as a jellyfish, came waddling up behind her sister to see what was going on. "Why don't we just lower the boy down the well in a bucket and leave him there for the night?" she suggested. "That ought to teach him to laze around like this the whole day long." "That's a very good wheeze, my dear Sponge, but let's make him finish chopping up the wood first. Be off with you at once, you hideous brat, and do some work." Slowly, sadly, poor James got off the ground and went back to the woodpile. Oh, if only he hadn't slipped and fallen and dropped that precious bag. All the hope of a happier life had gone completely now. Today and tomorrow and the next day, well, all the other days as well, would be nothing but punishment and pain and unhappiness and despair. He picked up the chopper and was just about to start chopping away again when he heard a shout from behind him that made him stop and turn. While I was reading, there's an illustration that I missed. That is when James tripped over the peach tree root and spilled all the worms into the ground. All right, friends. Well, that's the end of chapter 5. So we read 4 and 5 today. Tomorrow will be chapter 6. I'm excited because, again, the author, Roald Dahl, ended with kind of a cliffhanger at the end. So I wonder what sound he heard at the end of that chapter. So remember, today is an ELA day. So remember, do that work hard every single day. Remember, if nobody told you they love you today, I love you all very much. Let's have a great Tuesday.